It's back to school time, fall 1986. I've always loved back to school season, even when I wasn't in school. The beginning of another academic year, the promise of another academic year. I really want to learn to draw the figure. I want to be able to draw self-portraits, to draw myself. I can't take life drawing until the winter quarter. I have to take 3D design first. There are so many requirements and non-art electives in my degree program. I hope my second year of college is better than the first. I got a part-time job in the GSU Office of Admissions. Jay works in admissions already. I'm doing data entry, typing in all the information from applications to GSU. It's kind of boring, but I'm earning benefits, which is really nice. Health insurance, sick time, vacation time, and better pay. I'm taking 3D design, which I don't really like. I get the concepts they're teaching, but I'm not planning to be a sculptor. It's just a requirement. World Civilizations is okay, but college algebra? Yeesh, I can't do math. I feel like I'm just treading water this quarter. I'm home for Christmas in Indianapolis. We went to Mass on Christmas Eve, so Christmas morning we slept in and took our time unwrapping gifts. It was just the three of us, me and Mom and Dad. My brother and his family will be over sometime this week. My sisters don't usually come home for Christmas. Oh, and guess what? The week of Christmas is all holiday pay at GSU. The whole week, with pay. I don't have to use any of my vacation time. I'm still trying to draw from life, as they say, but it's hard when I can't get it right. Also, it's boring drawing mugs and dishes and hairbrushes and everyday objects. I wish I knew how to draw our cats. I try, but it's not great. I try drawing self-portraits, but they always turn out terrible. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And guess what? I got a C in algebra, and that was a gift from the professor. Life drawing class. Finally, something that I really want to learn. Winter quarter 1987. And I love this professor, RG. He's such a great teacher. He doesn't just walk up and tell you what's wrong with your drawing. He explains and demonstrates. He asks if he can draw over our drawings to show us what he means. Although the first time a model disrobed, we were all kind of shocked, but RG was so nonchalant about it. Yes, it's a naked human being. Get over it. You don't have time to be shocked or embarrassed. You need to look at the light hitting the shapes and translate that into your drawing. We've had all kinds of models, thin, overweight, young, old. This one young blonde woman is there most often. She says it's really good money modeling for art classes, but I find her very thin form a little difficult to draw. European literature is okay, but not really my thing. I'm also taking public speaking. Yikes! I hate public speaking. How am I going to make a speech in front of the whole class? RG explains the shapes around the body, like the angle of the shoulder and the upper arm, or the shape between the arm and the torso. I didn't get this when I read the book Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain, but now I get it, now that it's been explained and demonstrated right in front of me. There are a few people in this class who can draw really well, and their drawings look realistic. I feel like a kindergartner sometimes. RG also does not recommend translating shapes into geometric shapes like, triangles or pyramids or whatever, because later you have to translate them back to a regular shape. Anyway, I love this class. I am learning so much. I have to tell you about my public speaking final speech. Our professor told us we should choose a topic that we know something about. So I chose carbon dating techniques because I learned something about it in the Survey of Art History courses. I drew some pottery examples on poster boards for my props, but Jay gave me my attention getter for the start of the speech. She said I should call it dating techniques and say, when I told my roommate that my speech is on dating techniques, she said, "But Lisa, I thought your professor said it had to be a topic that you knew something about." I was afraid nobody would laugh, so I asked my classmate who sat next to me if he'd laugh. Anyway, I didn't have to worry. The whole class laughed. My professor said that I should take my roommate out to dinner for that suggestion. I got an A in the class, which is shocking to me. My professor said I talked too much to my visual aids rather than the audience, but I still got an A. I hate speaking in public. and I always come off as shy when I meet new people. But when I get to know them, then I'm not shy and quiet. I hate that so many people think I'm this mousy little shy person when really I'm not. I got a B in life drawing, so I must be getting better. I just wish my drawings didn't look so awful. I can't draw what I see in my head or what I see in front of me. I'm trying to practice, but it's hard when I don't like the results. I mean, if I'm an artist, this should be easy, right? Spring quarter, 1987. I finally have a class with one of the two drawing and painting professors. The class is called Drawing and Composition. It's kind of weird. Professor L brings in all sorts of odd stuff for us to draw, or else she gets items out of the school's big collection of stuff, like this huge black and yellow fabric tunnel thing. She brought in a bag of cow bones. She brought in all these balls, like tennis balls, ping pong balls, and she threw them up into the air and let them bounce around the room and told us, "Draw that!" We all looked at each other after that one like, really? What is this supposed to be teaching us? I like my Italian and Northern Renaissance art history course. I struggle not to fall asleep in geography. Professor L strung up dresses on hangers on a wire across the top of the room and had us draw them. I'm not always sure what she wants us to do. She doesn't really critique our drawing. She tends to just tell us if it's okay or not okay. So we are not really sure what we're supposed to be learning here. She wants experimentation and new and different techniques and materials. She's trying to get us to be edgy and different, but I really just want to learn how to draw. I must have done something right because I got an A in the class. At the end of this year, we had to have a drawing review in order to take upper level classes. I put all my drawings into a portfolio and left it on a table, and a few days later went back to pick it up. There was a note saying I passed. I was kind of surprised and almost hoped that I would be sent back to retake some of the drawing classes, especially life drawing. But they passed me, so I guess I'm headed to the major classes. I feel like I've been passed along not knowing how to draw. I can draw, just not very well. I was really pinning all my hopes on life drawing, and it was my favorite class. But I don't have the skills to do figure drawing. It's so frustrating. It's not where I want to be with my drawing, and I don't know what to do about it. I'm taking an elementary Spanish course over the summer to get a requirement out of the way. We're now realizing that you can't complete a degree in 4 years unless you take summer classes. That's really irritating. Also, one of the admissions counselors told me I looked manly in my corduroy pants. So I bought some skirts and blouses to wear this summer, and some makeup. I'm not sure I like it though. My face gets so greasy so quickly that it's not worth putting on makeup. I actually hate it. It's summer, and we moved into the upstairs portion of a rented house with a friend of Jay's. Our moving story is a hoot. We called around and found cheap movers at $35 an hour. This was a mistake. They loaded up all our stuff at the old apartment, and we gave them explicit instructions and were following right behind them, and then they made a wrong turn. Then they turned into a gas station, and the driver runs in to buy something. I got out of the car and yelled at them. They get back in the truck, and they finally get to the house. Then they balked at carrying everything up the stairs. They tried to tell us there was a per-step charge. It was taking them 45 minutes to move each piece of furniture from the truck up the stairs into the house. Jay timed them on her watch. One of the guys wandered off for over an hour. Then, when everything was finally off the truck and in the house, they tried to charge us for the whole day. We were paying them in cash, and Jay was waving the agreed-upon amount of cash in their faces, and the older guy was poking the younger guy and telling him just take the money. So finally, they took the cash and left. What an ordeal. Jay likes to tell people, we don't drink very often, but that night, we drank. And the house is not working out. The first time we came home at the end of the day, and our roommate was sitting on our couch with her sister and their friends watching a movie on our TV with our VCR, we knew it wasn't going to work out. Also, periodically, she just decides to completely reorganize the kitchen. We've only been here a couple of weeks, and she already completely emptied out the kitchen cabinets and rearranged them several times. Like, what are you doing? Also, she left the bottom cabinet open and Button walked in, and she grabbed his tail to pull him out. Like, no, 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 you do not touch Button's tail. You don't pull any cat's tail. But especially Button, who had his little surgery. He's very sensitive about his nether regions. We've been to see RoboCop about 6 times. No lie, just to escape the house. But that movie is freaking hilarious. We found an apartment way out in Marietta, Georgia. Our roommate wasn't mad when we told her. She immediately found 2 friends to move in with her. So we're way out in the suburbs now. The apartment office called Mom to get a reference. She sent me a letter that said, "Say, what are you girls up to? I got a call for an apartment reference." After we moved in, she called up in a fake Southern accent because our apartment has plantation in the name. I'm home for a summer visit in Indianapolis, going out and about on errands with Mom. She likes to make me drive. Dad has been surprisingly quiet. He hasn't been on my case about anything since I've been in college. I'm kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop, honestly.